Hey, Cougar fans. We're here with USF head football coach Jed Stugart, whose number 17th ranked Cougars opened the season with a 49-13 win over St. Cloud State last weekend. This weekend they host Minnesota State Moorhead, a team that also picked up an opening game victory. Jed, quickly tell us about the win. You seemed to do a lot of things really well on the defensive side of the ball most of the game, and on offense you really took off late second quarter, early third.
Well, I think they really hit our objectives going into the game, where number one is to control the controllables. The first games of the season, the first quarters of the season are going to be so unpredictable. You don't know. You're not going to probably see everything that the scout team gave. So to just kind of go through the ebbs and flows of the game and not get too wrapped up and distracted by things that are out of our control. So I was proud of the fact that they did that. We seemed to keep our composure when we didn't get frustrated when we were going 3 and out. Our defense was holding and did a good job. Both offenses just kind of were not really moving the ball early, and so we number one, we kept our composure with that. And I think the focus of a road trip coming out of fall camp, the workmanship was there as far as being a work trip and being focused at the task at hand. And so they followed exactly what we asked them to do, and then coaching wise, just the adjustments at halftime and exposing the things that these coaches saw on the adjustments and come out, and the team executed those. Obviously we kind of had an explosive second half. And also loved, we answered some questions, at least for 1 week, of maybe what everybody's concerns were, but most in the speculation of what do you do with linebackers that you're filling that graduated DBs. And for the most part, I was really pleased with how I think we answered a little bit of those questions, that we're on the right track. I don't think any of us ever feel like we're completely satisfied from players to coaches, so we're never going to be that way, but at least we felt really confident that we're headed in the right direction.
Running game, 340 yards, rushing 343 to be exact. Matt Mickey had a league high, 178 yards, and then Justin Folks 103, and even Luke Papillion had nearly 70.
Mm-hmm.
At rushing the game, you made a changeover in your blocking scheme this year, and the offensive linemen seem to really love it.
Yeah, they're just they're kind of the no glory guys. They don't care about it. They take more pride in protecting the quarterback and running the football. They don't care about stats and they don't care about all that. It's funny. I love offensive linemen just because they just go to work, and they don't want Luke touched. They want Mick, Max, and Justin and their backs that have good yardage, and then they could care less about if they get any credit. And I just love that about these guys. Great leadership with Terry Huber and Westcott and AG, all those guys, Springer, and so really pleased with just our run game and what we're doing, because that was a focal point this year. Trey Pipkin stepping in for Delaney, who graduated, and we feel like we've just picked right back up, haven't dropped off there. So love the way we run the ball. The first few series kind of getting a handle on their twist game. They do a really nice job with their activity up front. That wasn't confused. They were expecting it, but it takes a little while to kind of get adjusted to that, and they did that well. So that was a focal point this year. So we want to run the ball better. We don't really get complacent in the off season. We felt like we needed to get better. We changed some things up, and it's one game, but I liked how we were running in spring. I liked how we did in fall camp, and then to see it against another opponent was kind of cool to see that we're headed the right direction there.
Defensively, you seem to do some things really well, especially with a lot of new pieces. You had to replace 2 All-American corners. Speak to how you feel about the defense.
Well, I'm one of these. It's not very uncommon for coaches to say this. It sounds like coach speak, but the reality is that the defense is all about a unit. Same with offense, and I know you have key people that left, but I think I just think defensively last year it speaks to that. If a defense is more than just about one person, then you can overcome some adversity. I think the fact that we were able to maintain a playoff season last year through all the injuries and stuff that defense endured, and still figure out ways to win games that go to the playoffs is an example of that. Now, it does help to have those key playmakers in your defense, but the mindset has to be that we're one unit and everybody's got to step in and rise up. So the fact that we were able to, we want to focus on depth in the offseason because that's what hurt us last year. We've gotten better depth this year on this defense, which gives us a little bit more comfort knowing that we can kind of make it through a season a little bit better if we do have some of those injuries, because they're just going to happen in football seasons. And so I'm really pleased with the new guys that either freshmen or sophomores that are stepping in those roles, or we've had some guys that have transferred in that have really kind of bonded with this team and kind of bought into who we are, and they've made that adjustment quickly into this family, and they're playing well, and that again is something that was really cool to see, because I know a lot of people wonder, and that was my question that I got from a lot of people, was when new kids come in, will they adjust? Will they bond with the team? And that's just going to happen, because we don't have guys that don't. If you're not going to do that, you're not going to be here. And this team really accepts those guys in, and so I'm really pleased with kind of how these guys have really bought into who we are, and it's been good. The chemistry's been outstanding.
Now you have a good solid squad coming in Minnesota State Moorhead, who opened with a 41-24 victory over Wayne State. It was their home opener. They come in here, they got a dynamic quarterback, seem to have a decent running attack, good passing game with a big play wide receiver. How do you focus? What is your focus this week on MSUM?
Yeah, we just showed them. Steve Lacroix is a very good football coach, and he's done a great job with that program. We only play them every other year, and every year we play them, they just keep getting better. In fact, last year they had some injury stuff that hurt them, or so I think they probably have been a team to reckon with in the North. Starting off 3-0, they beat Winona State, they beat Augustana. I mean, we shared that with our team just to kind of go through their history and how they've got a great operation offensively. I remember 2 years ago getting on the bus. We just were fortunate to have a pretty good offensive day against them. And I remember getting on the bus saying, with the quarter they had on us in the second quarter offensively, and I just said, when they get their defense really figured out, when some of those guys get a little older, and that's what happened last year. Their defense got a heck of a lot better, and that's the reason why they were as successful as they were last year. And now they're a year older, and so we shared all that with our team just to make sure they don't look at history and just think, well, this is a team that has struggled. Every year they've gotten better from when Steve's gotten there, and they're a team to reckon with. And because they have a great offensive operation, they're very sound defensively. And our kids, I could tell by the looks on their faces that they are taking this team serious. It's their focus is there, and they respect the quality of team that Moorhead is.
This is the home season opener. You have your team in Bob Young Field again. Cougars are 54-5. Why should fans come out and watch this football team?
Well, it's an entertaining team to watch. I think, and especially the two teams that are going to be there are heavy on offense. As far as exciting offenses to watch. And so, we're both balanced run the pass, but it's a fun passing game by both teams, and it's going to be an exciting game. Great electric atmosphere out there, and so it's a great opportunity to see us kick off our season at home with our first home opener, and so we'd love to see you out there.
Thanks, Jed. Fans, 6:00 p.m. game start on Saturday night again against Minnesota State Moorhead. The Cougars will open their season, and I think everybody at the university is looking forward. Again, thanks, Jed.
Thanks, Dan.